Okay, I want to ask you a question, and then while you're thinking about it, I'm going to show you something else. If you drop a hammer and a feather and a helium balloon in a vacuum from the same height at the same time, what do you expect to happen? Let's come back to that. Some of that's been done. This little apparatus I have here is called a Newton's second law device. I'm going to show you a video clip of it. And it's got different settings. It's got if you ever played old school pinball, it's got a plunger attached to a spring that's going to drive out. And what happens is I've got a ball that has a hole in it that slides onto that, and then there's little holes for it to sit in. And then this plunger comes out and drops that ball and hits that ball at the same time. So this ball gets, when the plunger goes out like this, dropped. And that one gets hit and knocked off. And so it should do something like this. Except it'll get shot out farther. And I'll show you a video clip of this. You can't see them hit at the same time because they hit in two different spots, but you can hear one click when they hit. You won't be able to hear it today on this audio because the audio is not high enough. It won't come through. But I will, if I can, demonstrate this for you at some time, but I'll have a video demonstration of it here today. Let me pull that up. Okay, so she's telling you all about it. And this is a bigger view of the plunger being pulled back and hitting the ball. And you can hopefully see that a little bit better. And she'll click that for you here in a moment. And you can see that this one goes down and this one gets shot out. And they hit at the same time. When you hear that live, you will hear one click when they hit the ground. You won't hear two. Okay, so let's go to another video here. And on one of the Apollo missions, we actually went to the moon 6 times. And yeah, if you want to argue that we haven't been there and you want to talk through the evidence with me, which would take quite some time, I think there's enough evidence that it's a conspiracy theory that we didn't. I could walk you through that. I'm not going to have that argument with people that right now that don't know what you're talking about. But he's going to drop a hammer and a feather. So this wasn't the first lunar mission. It was one of the later ones, maybe 15. I'm not real sure. And he's going to drop a hammer and a feather. This is a classic demonstration. So I'm going to turn the lights off. Hopefully you can see this a little bit better. I can about narrate it. I've seen so many times. So he's got a feather. It's the name of Falcon Feather after their Falcon craft here. And a hammer. And if you dropped a helium balloon with it, there's no air. And helium balloons are lighter than air, right? But if there's no air to hold it up, they'll fall. And Galileo said they'll fall together if there's no air resistance. The camera's backing out. He's going to drop those two and hit at the same time. How about that? He says. Here come the lights. And if you dropped a helium balloon, it would fall with it.